She slept with my brother. So I served revenge at our wedding. I was with Emily for 5 years. We met at a friend's birthday party where she laughed at a joke I didn't even think was that funny. But her smile, it stuck with me. She had this soft, captivating energy that made you feel like the only person in the room. I fell fast. Hard. We moved in together after just a year. Built a life. We talked about kids. We traveled. I proposed on a mountaintop in Switzerland, hands shaking from nerves and cold, and she said yes with tears in her eyes. I thought I had won the universe. But behind that smile, behind the woman I trusted with my life, there was a secret rotting everything from the inside out. Her name was Emily, my fiancé. And the man she was cheating on me with? My brother. My own flesh and blood. Matthew. Growing up, Matt and I had a complicated relationship. He was always the charming one, the favorite, the golden child. I was the quiet one, the one who studied, worked hard, built a life slowly. But I loved him, trusted him, maybe more than anyone else. So when Emily and Matt started spending time together, harmlessly, I didn't question it. That was my first mistake. It started with a misplaced text. We were out shopping for wedding centerpieces, and Emily handed me her phone to check a Pinterest board. A message popped up at the top of the screen. It said, "Last night was a mistake, but I can't stop thinking about it. M." I froze. My stomach turned to ice. She reached for her phone instinctively, too quickly, and that confirmed it. I didn't say anything right away. I wanted to believe there was an explanation. But later that night, when she fell asleep, I checked. I know that sounds wrong. But something inside me screamed, "Look." And I did. Their messages were full of regrets and confessions. Late nights. Lingerie. Memories of a night they'd both sworn they wouldn't repeat, and yet they had. Again. And again. For almost 7 months. I scrolled until I couldn't breathe. I felt like a stranger in my own life. Like I had walked in on a movie I wasn't cast in. They had been sleeping together while we planned our wedding. While we were writing our vows. While I was promising her forever, they were giving each other what was supposed to be mine. I didn't confront them right away. No. I was quiet. I was calm. I smiled and kissed her forehead when she said goodnight. And then I started collecting. Screenshots. Photos. Receipts. I compiled it all in a hidden folder called For Later. But the truth is, I didn't want later. I wanted justice. I wanted something unforgettable. So I waited for the perfect day. Our wedding was already paid for. Venue, catering, even the band. And I realized, what better time for a reveal? When all eyes were on us. When the lies had reached their highest peak. The night before the wedding, Emily was glowing. Nervous. Excited. She told me she couldn't believe how lucky she was. I kissed her forehead and told her she'd never forget this day. And I meant every word. The wedding day. The ceremony was outdoors. White flowers. String lights. Everything she dreamed of. I stood at the altar, smiling like nothing was wrong. Watching her walk down the aisle in the dress I helped her choose was like watching a stranger wear my future. She reached me, took my hand, whispered, "I love you." And I said, "I know." Then came the vows. She read hers first. They were beautiful. People cried. She said things like, "You make me whole," and "I'll never hurt you." The lies came easy to her. My turn. I pulled a small paper from my pocket, but it wasn't vows. It was the transcript of a message from Matt. "Can't stop thinking about you," in that red lace set. "When are we doing this again?" I read it aloud. Silence. I looked her in the eyes as her smile dropped. Confusion. Then panic. I continued. "Emily, you've been sleeping with my brother for almost 7 months. While we were planning this wedding. While we were writing these vows." Gasps. Chairs shifting. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. I handed the paper to the officiant. Consider this a breakup, not a wedding. I turned to the crowd. For those wondering, yes, it's true. And no, I'm not embarrassed. Because today isn't about shame. It's about freedom. I turned back to Emily. I loved you. I would have spent my whole life loving you. But today, I'm giving that love back to myself. Then I walked down the aisle. Not toward the exit, but toward the reception tent, where I had instructed the DJ to play something specific. Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood. On the big screen behind the dance floor, I had connected my laptop. I hit play. It was a slideshow. Photos of them. Screenshots. Messages. Receipts. I watched her run in, screaming to cut it. The DJ turned down the volume, but it was too late. Everyone had seen it. My family, her family, our friends. Matt wasn't there. He had bailed last minute, saying he was sick. Coward. I heard someone cry. Her mother, probably. I didn't look back. I left the venue and got in the car I had already packed. I drove to a cabin in the mountains I had secretly rented for a week. No phone, no noise. Just me and peace. The aftermath. She tried to call. Texted from unknown numbers. Sent emails begging me not to humiliate her like that. But she had already done that to herself. I didn't respond. My brother? He didn't even try to explain. Last I heard, he moved states. They didn't end up together. I guess betrayal isn't a strong foundation for love. I healed. Slowly. Quietly. I went to therapy. I found new hobbies. I stopped checking my phone expecting pain. And one day, I smiled without thinking of her. A final note. If you're reading this and you've ever been betrayed, just know this. You are not broken. You are not weak for loving deeply. The people who hurt you, they reflect themselves, not your worth. And sometimes, the best revenge is truth. Loud, unapologetic, and served cold with a microphone.